Hey everyone, it's time for the results. Usually we do these on Monday, but today we're doing on a Tuesday/Wednesday, depending on when this video is released or where you live. And yeah, this is because a good friend, Fuzzy Paradox, you see here, right here, usually, does these, but he was at the BCS this time, right? Having fun, seeing all the pictures, right? Meeting up with people. That's what it's all about, right? So if you don't know what to do and, you have a BCS coming up and you're like, oh, I'm not sure competitive, I don't want to go to Worlds, just go, meet the people, have some fun. And, you can make some new friends and all that. So, yeah, it's great. It's great. But, let's focus back on what's been happening this week because there's been some big stuff. Not only is there the BCS that happened, but also WGPs with the new format, right? With the totally new cards. So let's kind of just get started. So first off, let's talk about the White Plains regionals. This is for standard. All the Gandivas taking it home this time. 3 Gandivas, and then the 1 Minerva, Messiah, Ava, Majesty Lord, and Shojodoji, right? Shojodoji. Interesting. Not expecting to see that Shojodoji there, but where are the Willistas? Where the Willistas go? It's crazy. It got hit for a reason because it's a good deck, right? But I think this is kind of more consistent with what we usually see. More Gandivas in Europe, in America, then you go to like the Asia and just like Willista City, right? Willistas everywhere, right? But then in the top 8. Or top 4, I mean, the Messiah took it home, right? Followed by, from Daniel Page, followed by Moises Hernandez with the Ava. Ava? I guess, like, when you don't have to face a Willista at all, right? Because there's none in top cut, then it's pretty good for you. They had Michael Shun with Gandiva. And then Tevin Poe. I think it's Poe. Sorry if I said your name wrong. But with MLB. Right, MLB. Just gonna take a quick look at that MLB deck. Unfortunately, this one did not make it to Worlds, but I feel like MLB is just that deck that we're just seeing like pop up once every like couple of results. It's not as like dead as it was in Asia, except for, like I think that one time it topped in Malaysia. But yeah, now this one definitely it's doing something. It's doing something, right? Next we have is V Premium, right? This is with Thai Plains. Yeah, I got V Premium. This is what I expect. Last time when I saw Rosemont, it was just like Luard and Night Rose. I was like, what? What's going on? And then, but here's the Aqua Force Nation, right? 3 Aqua Force, 1 Shadow Paladin, Gold Paladin, Geek Chronicle Genesis, and Bermuda Triangle. So a bit of everything. But then here, like, the winner was actually Joseph Alfano with the Steam Maiden, right? And then comes Michael Antonelli with the Thavis, and then Nathan Young with the Highlander, and then 4th place was Kevin Rivas with the Thavis as well. What was Joseph? Steam Maidens? It's been it's been a while, right? They got hit. We didn't really see it as much. See no Enterana. Yeah, but it looks like just running the cat just enough. Fill it up with some more cards, Lost Break, and you're good to go, right? You're good to go. Okay, pretty good. And then finally we have Premium as well. This is 3 Bermuda Triangle with 2 Link Joker, 1 Dimension Police, 1 Narukami, and 1 Mega Colony. So, yeah, look at this is a Melista as well, right? It's not just Highlander. 1 Melista. This is actually a pretty interesting premium top, right? Like top cut when you think about it. So the Chaos is still there, right? Kind of more NA, right? Than Gridora now, right? We had the memes where it's like, Gridora's winning, then Narukami winning. But now, like, the Chaos is like the one consistent factor that seems to be staying around. But then the Bermudas came back, right? Which is, when you think about it, is pretty good against like Chaos and Gridora. And you can just like high roll everything else, right? But Melista finally made its top, right? So let's take a look at the top cut. First place was my boy Stephen Lee, coming first with the Stephen Lee special, right? Highlander, if you don't know. And then after that was Jake Akachella with a Chaos deck, and third was Amadeus Lisicki. with Chaos, and then 4th was Alec Goff with the Melissa. And I think Alec already qualified for Worlds already, so feel like he just brought this deck for the lols. But just let's take a quick look at the premium stuff, because it's premium decks, because, I mean, pretty interesting, right? Look at this Highland list. Basically, you know, after the Katir hit, you just run good stuff. You just run, just find like the next best stuff and like shove it in. Highlander itself, like Reindeer itself, is already like just busted, so you don't need to run anything like Loris or any. He is running 1 Loris, but you don't need to really worry about it as much. Right, it can be like I guess a 5th ride when you think about it. You're a Reindeer, but if you don't, at least you have a Loris to get some force markers and push. But otherwise, the rest of the game plan is still kind of there. You also don't need to focus on ride down as much, but you still have that option, I guess, to give your opponent like a bad stride. And you know, you have one of the Rolocks still. So I guess it's all the Akari as well. Wow, okay, nice. And then he has the Chaoses, so we got 2 Chaos. So first one, ooh, it's in the freeze rate. Running the Globular, right? This dude, very old school. Globular and Cold Freeze, really? Wow, double, and 1 close as well. So just a bunch of ways to like build garbage locks on your opponent's side of the board. And I guess this will like really annoy decks like Melissa, which needs the spots to do things. Unfortunately, you know, when you're facing as a Highlander in that, this deck kind of just it's just kind of like a really, really bad matchup. But that's just Chaos in a nutshell, right? So pretty nice. Chaos just doing well. And the second Chaos list here as well we have is pretty similar, running the Globulars. No Cold Ray though, Cold Freeze, I mean, and none of the Close. So just maxed out on the freeze rate even. So, okay, nice. But then now we're moving on to WGP Malaysia. This is in the set 13 format. We wanted to see what's been going on. Yeah. So first off, 2 Youthbergs, 1 Leonon, and then a Prison as well. A Snake deck, 1 Mushi King, Mikazuki, and a Maigo. So no Jivas here. No Jivas. And then let's what happened? Who actually won? So full blast in the end won from June Huilo, and then second was Liu Yuheng with Leonon, and then third was actually Prison with piloted by Koi Yi-hung, and then Danny Lee with the snake at the end. I'm actually quite surprised the snake top, but you know, if you probably just rush down your opponent in this current format before they can pop off. And then here's the deck list. So first, this would be June's list. As you can see, my internet is the quickest. Welcome to Australian internet. This is a full blast with actually a Hyper Greed build. Look at this. 2 Tempest, 1 Gust, and 1 Zest. I can kind of understand if you want like 2 Tempest, 2 Gust, 1 Zest. But hey, why run bad cards, right? If you're going to full blast all day, why run the bad cards? And then you've got the 4 of each of the support, but because you went so greedy, right, you can fit in 3 Calibrate to kind of help you filter out your deck as well to get those cards, to be able to get off that full blast ASAP. So I do respect it, right? Being able to go to a big tournament with a lot of rounds going, hey, if I damage check my Gust or my Zest, I am done, right? But, you know, this is kind of the build, this is kind of the level we can see with these builds, right? You can, if you want to be slightly safe, you can like run 1 extra Gust to like cut down on a Calibrate, but that's where you're going. That's basically where you're going with the deck. So quite cool. Second one was a Leonon list as well, going just normal Leonon. I know in the JP one, we saw like it was like a Leonon mask, right? But this is more like the traditional Unison dress build that we probably are expecting. So 1 Leonor, went to the 4 Unison dress, then we got the PRs, the Anthers as well. This is so costly, so much price, big money. And then 4 of the Fairy, 2 of the Rideline Returner, and then just 4 of the Countercharger. So pretty, I guess if you think of a standard Leonon build from the set, how do you build it? This is pretty much where it is, right? You know, you want to push early, you have some of the mushrooms to be able to help push early, you got the Misty Arc Habitats to kind of go through your deck, Dianthus to kind of salvage important stuff. But yeah, this is pretty much it, and this thing came second in Malaysia, Right, so good stuff, good stuff. Only 4, like, rainbow triggers, though. Like, only 4 crits. Only 4 crits, 3 front, 4 draws. Okay, okay. And then here's the prison list. So the idea is, like, if you play prison, you can kind of destroy Youthberg's soul if they're not careful. Now, if you're a smart Youthberg player, right, the idea is don't be so greedy and, like, blast out your soul. But I think eventually, at some point, you just might not have a choice. So this is kind of cool, right? And eventually, also, a lot of the decks do kind of require CB still to pop off. So if you're able to lock down your opponent at certain points in the game with prison, then it's okay, right? In a sense, like, all the strong decks that kill prison, you know, that just rush you down and screw you over, the only one that can really do that is Full Blast. And Full Blast is CB restricted, so if you play carefully around that matchup, that won't super kill you, while Drejeweled and the Leonor deck still needs to wait till their turn 4, their grade 4, or their turn 4 basically, because Leonor doesn't have a grade 4. But yeah, they have to wait till that turn to put on that super aggression, right? I mean, Drejeweled might be able to just, you know, ride up to 3 and still do its combos, but that's kind of wasting a lot of resource, and it's still not bad, right? You still have time to kind of play the game, while something like Bastion will just wreck you in the face. So because there's, like, less of those hyper aggressive stuff, the theory is then this should be better. Of course, you know, that might change as well, because other people might think, hey, because we have to play hyper aggressive against these decks, then this will kind of not do it. But yeah, pretty cool to see a prison doing good. We got half of the PR already in English, so hopefully with the other half. But yeah, good stuff, good stuff. And then lastly, we have this snake deck. So, kind of interesting running 4 of the golem just to keep on putting stuff back so you can keep on drawing your dude, your draw dude. Got this grade 2 though, right? DB 205. Wow. So, yeah. If you just a 19k beta. Right, 19k beta. So I guess it's decent aggression, right? If you can just get off a lot of attacks early and just kind of win early, then you don't have to worry about the big decks, right? So nice. And then moving on to standard in Japan as well. This is from the Chiba Deluxe. This is at the end of Swiss what came down, right? And if we take a look at the end of Swiss results, pretty interesting. Cut to a top 16. The diversity cut was cut at 8th place. So 9th place onwards is diversity cut. But if you look at this, all the people that went undefeated in Swiss, which is like 1 to 8, it's all unique decks, right? And you might go, wow, that's crazy, right? The deck is so diverse. But you have to bear in mind that if you're going to this tournament with diversity cut in mind, you will be encouraged to be bringing a different kind of deck, as long as they all kind of do the same thing, right? So here we go. So first off was Harpin in Swiss. He was doing really well with Mikazuki, and then Orfist Regis. Then we got Mygo, and then Jeweled. We got a hero deck as well, Jiva, Leonorn, and Minerva. So all the deck codes, look, I'm not going to go through every single deck, but all the deck codes are there. Use JP deck code, deck log to be able to see these decks. And then now the diversity cut switches in. We got an Ezel that made it through, a Bastion, right? There was no Bastions. We have a Shojodoji as well. And then we got a Draconic Overlord, then 2 Youthbergs, right? No Youthbergs were there. And then we got a Lutetia and an Ava as well sneaking through. So pretty crazy when you think about it, but I think you can kind of like just label all these decks in a very, very similar fashion. Like, the Leonorn and the Jujul, these are kind of the later game decks in the formats. While you have like things like Orfist. Apparently Mygo is like very, very fast. Mikazuki can like go off really, really fast as well. So you can kind of like categorize those decks in that way to kind of look at what the format is really like, right? Then in terms of the top, well, we have the top 16 here. So this is the pie chart version. And the top 4 and the winners here was actually the Shojodoji. So this one is, I mean, kind of unexpected, right? But if we look at the list, we can kind of see what's been going on. And then next was Leonorn, and then third was Mygo, and then fourth was the Drejeweled. So let's look at the list. This Shojodoji list was very, very crazily aggressive. If you look at it, we can zoom in. We can zoom in and you can see, right? So, ooh, what is this? 3 PGs. 3 PGs. 3 heals, right? 3 heals, 8 front, 4 crit. So that kind of gives you an idea of what the deck is like wants to do, right? Just go in, be aggressive, try to win the game ASAP. Apparently they did play very aggressive as well, you know, just go off as soon as possible, just kill them before you know, those big decks can set up, and yeah, it reflects in the deck list itself, right? You know, just three PGs, 3 heals, yeah, kind of what you'd build for, right? So pretty cool. I wouldn't totally build it this way, right? You have to bear in mind that these tournaments that they have is like 4 Swiss, and then you make it to top cut, and then, you know, after that just like 4 more rounds. So not that many rounds when you compare it to our BCS, right? For example, and now because our BCS would be like have way more rounds, just be like 3 or 4 more rounds, right? That does make a big difference in what people want to bring, right? You definitely need to bring more consistent decks. So something like that is hyper aggressive like that might not work, right? On a good day, this will just kill everyone. But you know, if you miss a dice roll a bit and you roll low with something like this, then GG, right? Next we have is the Leonor. So this was the weird kind of build that I was kind of talking about. Leonor mask with like 2 unison dress. Kind of, I don't know what you think. It's like they had the Leonor mask deck, which was fine, right? And then just added a couple of new cards in and just went to the tournament, right? So I'm not sure if this is the way to go, but we'll see. And then third place, it was the MyGo list. It was pretty much just like the old school. Well, this is the Bang Dream collab stuff that they've put in this set, and they kind of poured over from like Bang Dream because like plays pretty similarly. I haven't totally looked into this, but apparently this is a very strong deck and it pops off really quick. So it's kind of filling that niche where it's like, you know, you're popping off before the big decks. So this should definitely be like investigated if you are playing in the Japanese region. And then lastly, we do have the Jeweled as well. This one is kind of weird as well. I feel like it's running a bit few techie cards, right? Got the Twin Marvel Dragon there as well. Only running one of the Maid, right? So I feel like there should be more builds, but again, it's like a day 1 build, right? So overall, pretty interesting results this week. Lots to talk about. There was also like one extra result. There was like an ultimate VGCS in Osaka. I don't really bring these up. Fuzzy did mention it. It is on the Fuzzy Paradox website if you want to look at the results. It was a team one, and it did have some interesting stuff. So go check that one out. You can see this is actually pretty meta, right? Youthberg, Julian on a team. Man, if you want meta lists, there they are. So go check that out. But yeah, that is it for the list this week. Congrats to everyone who qualified for Worlds, and I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, bye.